Hello, my name is Oscar Zoom, and today I'll be doing my informative speech on tattoos. Don't you ever ask yourself how many different kinds of ways there is to give an individual a tattoo, or how many different types of needles they have all across the world? Throughout time, tattoos have evolved into new things. There are so many different traditions and meanings behind all the tattoos artists do across the world. Tattooing has been practiced across the globe since at least Neolithic times, as evidenced by mummified, preserved skin, ancient art, and the archaeological record. Both ancient art and archaeological finds of possible tattoo tools suggest tattooing was practiced by the Upper Paleolithic period in Europe. Tattoos date back many thousands of years. In fact, we have firm evidence that tattooing is an ancient art form after the discovering of tattoos on mummified skin were found. I believe that tattoos have a lot of meaning behind them. Different people get tattoos for a certain meaning. Different people get different style of tattoos as well. A lot of people say that tattoos mess up your skin. Tattoos look dumb on you, when in reality it's just body art. It's amazing how they can tattoo anything you want on your body in different types of ways and designs. I would love to inform you on some of the different types of tattoos they have, all the different types of needles they have, and different types of ways to do it, either using a stencil or free drawing the artwork your client wants. Start off by classic American tattoos. These may be the first kind of tattoos you think of in old school style, defined by bold outlines and the use of similar colors and imagery. They're closely tied to the ocean and nautical imagery, pin-up female figures, fierce predator animals, or a combination of heart, roses, and daggers. Next, we'll be talking about Japanese. One that has maintained its popular is Japanese style. Tattoo artists still create both traditional and new takes on these classic masterpieces and its genre, particularly known for large images that cover the back, arms, and legs. Japanese tattoos are expensive and bold, which is why they become a style that is loved around the globe. The vibrant color and interesting shading makes these inking eye-catching and exciting. The imagery used is often a way to honor folklore or tradition. Next, poetry tattoos. Without the black outlines of some of the more classic styles, artists are able to achieve earlier, accurate renditions of people both in color and black and gray. Portraits are more of a detailed tattoo. The artist wants to draw exactly what the picture looks like. Portraits will mostly consist of people's faces or a full body artwork. Stick and poke tattoos. Stick and poke tattoos are a form of non-electric tattooing. That is to say, there is no tattoo machine used. Instead, ink is applied to the skin by hand by attaching a needle to a rod-like contraption, much like a pencil and thread. Where the artist uses a single needle to create simple designs recently popularized for dye tattoos, and the hands of a professional, this art can go to beautiful levels, characterized by thick and bold lines, most often in simple black with small decorative patterns. Biomedical tattoos. Typical free-handed biomedical tattoos adapt to the unique flow of a person's body, meant to mimic machinery that could be hidden within the skin. These mechanical inspired images are usually anywhere on the body, mostly on the arms and legs, representing any type of ligaments. Geometric tattoos. Geometric tattoos are very popular right now, and can be really timeless when done right. They can either feature geometric elements only or have a combination of geometric and organic elements. The contrast between the exact sharp lines of this tattoo style and the curves of the body makes them stand out in a bold way. Surrealism tattoos. The art genre of surrealism gives artists loads of material to work with. The artistic style can change, the subject can change, but as long as the viewer comes out of the experience with that feeling of sublime fantasy, the artist has achieved their purpose. Now I'll be talking about needles. First off, the round linear needles. These have a round pattern and are good for lines. For instance, you could use them for outlines. The thickness is described by a numerical value. 01 would be really fine and 14 is extremely thick. These types of needles don't let a lot of ink out at once, so they can be used for details and dot work. Next, we got round shader needles. These are similar, but the pins within the needle are not close together, so they are suited to shading and filling in the outlines with coloring. Next, we got Magnum shader needles. The Magnum shader needles are preferred for a lot of different types of shading and are graded for bigger areas. They can allow a lot of ink to be transferred at once, so these types of needles are fantastic for covering larger space within tattoos. Next one, curved Magnum shader needles. These are sometimes called soft edges magnums too. They're similar because they can disperse a lot of ink, but they are designed to do so very evenly and not cause any more pain or damage to the skin. These types of needles are great for delicate shading. Double stack Magnum shader needles. Needles are similar, but they have gone out of fashion somewhat. They have multiple pins, but they aren't spaced out as much. Flat shader needles. They are good for lining and can deliver lots of ink to the skin at once for dark shading. For instance, if you need a dark outline or even some intricate shading, such as in mandala style tattoos, the flat shader can be used. For certain types of makeup, semi-permanent styles of makeup tend to use flat shaders. And for my conclusion, this concludes my presentation on the different types of tattoos and different types of needles all around the world. People have different ways of doing tattoos and different types of traditions and meaning behind the tattoos. Now you know all the kinds of tattoos they do and needles they have.